Let's discuss today spillover effects, or we may call it the externalities. The spillover effect refers to how an action, event, or situation in one area influences outcomes in another area, often beyond its immediate context. It is a term widely used in economics, social sciences, psychology, and environmental studies. Let's categorize the spillover effects. Number one, social spillover. A social spillover effect is when a community program or initiative indirectly benefits the community and its people. We can give an example. A positive workplace culture in one department can improve or enhance morale and productivity across the organization. For example, free education can improve the employability and social behavior of citizens, which could potentially lower crime rates and poverty rates. Number two, psychological spillover. In psychology, the spillover effect is the transfer of psychological overflow from one context to another closed environment. Example, stress at work affecting personal relationships or satisfaction in one life's domain like family boosting happiness in another, that is in career. Number three, environmental spillover. The environmental spillover effect is the idea that engaging in one environmental behavior can influence the likelihood of engaging in another environmental behavior. Example, policies in one country to reduce carbon emissions influencing neighboring countries to adopt similar strategies. Number four, political spillover. The political spillover effect is the impact of a political event in one country on the political thrust levels of other countries. Example, changes in trade policies between two countries affecting international relations or alliances globally. According to the Corporate Finance Institute, spillover effects can be categorized as number one, social interaction spillover effect, number two, context equilibrium effect, number three, general equilibrium effect, number four, externalities spillover effect. In economics, the spillover effects in most cases are interchangeably used with externalities. The term spillover effect was first used by economists John Stuart Mill and Henry Sidgwick in the 19th century. They built on Adam Smith's invisible hand theory, which suggests that prices are determined through supply and demand. Spillover effects, also known as externalities, are costs that are borne by parties outside of a transaction. Arthur Pigou further developed the concept of externalities in 1920. Alfred Marshall, the British economist, first coined the term externality. That is, in his book Principles of Economics of 1890, Marshall used the term to describe the effects of production and consumption that go beyond the immediate parties involved in a transaction. Marshall's student, Arthur Pigou, refined the concept of externalities in his book, The Economics of Welfare, in 1920. Pigou argued that externalities are costs or benefits imposed on others that are not taken into account by the person taking the action. He also argued that the government should intervene to address externalities and proposed a tax on negative externalities and provide subsidy for positive externalities, which is known as the Pigouvian tax. Externalities are uncompensated third-party effects resulting from the production of or and consumption of goods and services. Let me repeat the sentence. Externalities are uncompensated third-party effects resulting from the production and or consumption of goods and services. In other words, an externality results from the gap between a good's private cost or benefit and a good's social cost or benefit. The difference between the private cost or benefit and the social cost or benefit of a good, that the margin, the difference. Externalities and spillover effects are almost used interchangeably, are almost same thing, both referring to a cost or benefit imposed on a third party by an economic activity or through an economic activity. Externalities of economic activity are non-monetary spillover effects upon non-participants. A spillover is an externality that spill over into areas beyond the authority of the government where the externality is produced. For example, pollution is an externality because the producers of pollution do not bear the full social and environmental costs of that pollution. The acid rain that falls in the eastern states is a spillover of the pollution produced by coal burning electric generators in American Midwestern states. Externalities can be either positive or negative. Positive externalities occur when a third party benefits from an economic activity without being directly involved or paying for the benefit. Example of positive externalities. Education. A more educated workforce increases productivity, innovation, and economic growth, benefiting the society at large. What is the spillover? The spillover is better educated citizens are less likely to commit crimes and more likely to participate in civic activities, reducing the societal costs. Number two, healthcare and vaccinations. Benefit. When individuals get vaccinated, they reduce the likelihood of spreading diseases to others. What is this spillover? Public health improves, reducing medical costs and absenteeism in workplaces. Number three, infrastructure development. What is its benefit? Building public transportation system reduces traffic congestion and pollution too. What is spillover? Businesses benefit from improved logistics and residents also save time and costs. Number four, research and development. Benefit. What is its benefit? Innovations such as new technologies and medical breakthroughs create societal value. Its spillover is that other industries can adopt and adapt these innovations, spurring further growth and development. Negative externalities. Negative externalities occur when an economic activity imposes costs on third parties without compensating them. Examples: pollution. Number one, pollution. What is its cost? Industrial emissions harm public health and degrade the environment. What is its spillover? Costs include medical expenses, reduced agricultural productivity, and climate change impacts. Traffic. Number two, traffic congestion. Its cost. Individual car use increases travel times and air pollution for others. Its spillover is loss of productivity and higher healthcare costs that would affect the economy. Overfishing. Number three. In case of overfishing, the cost is depletion of fish stocks, harms marine ecosystem, and also future fishing opportunities. What is its spillover? Economic loss for communities relying on fishing and increased food insecurity too. Number four, noise pollution. Its cost. Noise from airports or factories or from any construction disrupts nearby residents' quality of life. What is its spillover? It reduces property values and adverse health effects also occur. What are the economic implications of spillovers? Number one, market failures. Market failure. The positive and negative externalities can lead to market failures because the full social costs or benefits are not reflected in market prices. Example: positive externality. Under provision of public goods like education and clean energy. Negative externality. Overconsumption of harmful goods like fossil fuels. Inefficiency. Without intervention, externalities result in inefficiency. Positive externality. What is its positive externality? Too few resources are allocated to socially beneficial activities. Negative externalities. Too many resources are allocated to harmful activities. Policy interventions to address spillovers for positive externalities. Number one, subsidies. Governments can provide financial support for activities such as education, renewable energy, and research and development. Number two, tax incentives can be provided, tax breaks can be provided for investments in green technology or charitable contributions. Number three, public provision. Direct government provision of public goods like healthcare and infrastructure. For negative externalities, let's discuss what should be done. The measures to be undertaken. Number one, taxes and penalties. We had already discussed Pigouvian tax. So, Pigouvian taxes can be levied on activities causing harm, such as carbon taxes for emissions. Number two, regulations can be made. So, strict environmental and zoning laws should be imposed so as to limit the harmful practices. Number three, market-based solutions. That is, cap and trade systems allow companies to buy and sell emission permits, creating financial incentives to reduce pollution. Let's discuss the practical applications. Spillover effects, both positive and negative, are central to understanding economic dynamics and policy making. Positive externalities highlight the need for government support to ensure socially beneficial activities which are adequately supplied, while negative externalities underscore the importance of interventions to mitigate harm. Addressing these externalities is key to achieving economic efficiency, equity, and sustainability. Understanding spillover effects helps policymakers, businessmen, entrepreneurs, researchers who anticipate unintended consequences, leverage synergies, and design strategies that could maximize positive outcomes while minimizing the negative effects. Thank you.